In the United States, people are wondering what the hell is going on in the ethers. Rather than turning to organized religion for answers, many are seeking answers elsewhere. Tonight, we explore spiritual trends and the predictions that are emerging from them.
The truth is out there, and it begins with you. Welcome to the Cosmic Fold, where we talk high strangeness. Call us at 928-288-2942. That's 928-288-2942. Or join us by video. If you're at a computer, just look for the link in the chat. Buckle up, sit around our virtual campfire, and let's get started.
Something interesting is happening in the United States right now. Across social media, podcasts, bookstores, and even mainstream news coverage, more and more people are talking about prophecies, predictions, and spiritual forecasts about the future. Some predictions come from traditional sources, like astrologers and tarot readers. Others are coming from unexpected places, including AI chatbots and online communities trying to decode the future together. Sociologists say this happens during times of rapid change, when the world feels uncertain, economically, technologically, or politically. People begin asking bigger questions. Where is humanity going? Are we entering a new era? At the same time, traditional religious affiliation in the United States has been declining, while alternative spiritual practices are growing. According to the Pew Research Center, more Americans now describe themselves as spiritual but not religious. One growing trend is personal spirituality, where people mix meditation, nature practices, and ideas from many different traditions. Another trend is the rise of modern witchcraft and neo-pagan traditions focused on nature rituals and seasonal cycles. Another movement involves spiritual retreats, where people explore powerful inner experiences using natural substances like special mushrooms or traditional plant brews. Many participants describe these experiences as deeply spiritual. A fourth movement blends spirituality with cosmic ideas about extraterrestrial intelligence, universal consciousness, and humanity's place in the universe. And perhaps the most unusual trend connects technology with spirituality. Some thinkers are asking whether artificial intelligence could eventually represent a new form of non-biological intelligence. Together, these trends have created a growing online culture of spiritual speculation about the future. People are blending astrology, consciousness studies, ancient prophecies, extraterrestrial theories, and modern science. Whether you see these ideas as entertainment, cultural artifacts, or serious predictions about the future, they reveal something important about our moment in history. They show us what people are hoping for, and sometimes what they're afraid of. Tonight, we're going to explore 10 new Agey prophecies arising from these spiritual trends. 10 popular predictions currently circulating online for the years 2026 through 2028. But instead of presenting them like a lecture, we're going to play a game. It's called Pick a Number. Choose a number from 1 through 10, and we'll reveal the prophecy. Then we'll talk about it. If you've heard a prediction you'd like to share, tell us in the live chat. Welcome to The Fold.
Yeah.
Hey, gang.
Hi.
It was intended to be a little lighter tonight, but I think each one of these predictions will launch into all the shitstorm that's happening right now. Because one of the things I've noticed is that, is there an echo somewhere? Is it me? I don't think it's me. I hear an echo. But in any event, but in any event, a lot of them tend to be sort of optimistic.
Yes.
But the thing is, to get to that point, there's a lot of crap to get there. And I think that's part of what's going on. I mean, the end result could very well be some of these predictions, but getting there is not a cakewalk.
That's right.
kind of what I think is going on. So anyway, how's everyone? I'm sorry we couldn't do last Wednesday. I was so busy. Good. It was kind of like
I'm just astounded you do it every week, Deborah.
I know you do so much.
You do. Yeah.
Either that or quietly go insane. So it's
Deborah, I don't think your strategy's working.
Oh man. Well, I mean, here it's so weird. It's like almost 80 degrees. And this is March. It's supposed to be snowing.
No, I know. It's been like that here too. I heard that the actual Gulf Stream is starting to switch. It's already changing. So that's a bad sign for climate change.
We had snow flurries 2 days ago.
Yeah, we did too.
Tornado Alley has now moved out of Oklahoma and Kansas, and it's moving further into the Midwest. And kind of like Michigan had those horrible tornadoes, and Southern Illinois.
Everybody's leaving Texas and Oklahoma. Even the hurricanes, the tornadoes.
Even the tornadoes.
Even the hurricanes are. Well, what I did was just a brief overview of, AI assisted me to identify what are the top spiritual trends right now that people are doing. Yeah. Quite frankly, though, I don't think there's not a lot that's new, but we can blow through this. It might be new to some people, but I think we're all aware of this. The biggest shift, people are becoming less religiously institutionalized spiritual. It's more of a personal spirituality that is emerging, and church attendance is going down. And I just saw before the show on my feed, there was an article from a newspaper in Texas where they are saying that in the next few months, they're predicting 100,000 more church closures because people are just not going. And then they're saying, oh, it's COVID and that started it. I don't believe that.
No,
I think it's
true.
People are just losing interest in it.
Yeah.
Now, 62% of Americans say that they're Christian, but they really don't go to church,
Right.
It's kind of stabilized now, but the religiously unaffiliated is 30%. Other religions are 7%. So, you look at 36% of the people, and we're not represented at all in our government. You would think everything is like totally Christian or whatever. And it's just people aren't, the representation is not there. Only about 1 in 3 Americans attend services regularly. Nearly half rarely ever go, just for weddings and funerals, basically. It's more of a cultural ID. Darcy, woohoo! Hey, girl. Good to see you. What's interesting about this is that 81% still believe that there's something bigger beyond the physical world. But, religion isn't quite doing it. And only 22% say they're spiritual but not religious. So I thought that was kind of an interesting mesh, how that's working.
It is interesting.
This is interesting too. Remember, people used to make fun of, you saw a tarot reader or consultant astrologer. That's pretty much mainstream now. Thanks to people like Denise, who are intelligent ones, But 30%,
since 1990,
Yeah. And it's now up to 30% of Americans regularly consult astrologers or some other kind of reader. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
How that has changed. Some of the lesser known ones, now I watch some of these YouTubes, you guys might not, but a really big one is this health stuff. And they're tracking everything, and then also trying to blend that with a meditation sort of thing. It's a really big, especially more with men, I would say. But I kind of watch some of that, and maybe because I'm sort of a little bit like that, but not that much. But another thing that they're trying to put into a spiritual box, our futurists are trying to use artificial intelligence as a feedback loop for their spirituality and their health and all that other stuff. So this is part of where that blend is coming in. Helen just loves that. I know she does that.
Just this whole thing is just too much.
And then you have people experimenting with AI as modern oracles, etc. And you
Mhm.
know, Deepak Chopra, how do you say his
Mhm.
name?
Yeah, that's
You're
it.
I
Yeah,
correct.
think you
he
say it.
was
I think you
really
said it,
okay.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, he's in
Yes.
the Epstein files.
Yeah,
Yeah.
huge in the Epstein files. And so now
Yeah.
there's kind of like I've been seeing articles, especially on Medium, where they're like questioning this whole spirituality movement. It's like, oh, they're all in it too, you know. But he was one of the pioneers in trying to start this like AI oracle kind of stuff, and
Well, I should
kind
tell
of
you right
shows.
there.
Yep,
Just kidding.
exactly.
All
The
you need to
ones who
know.
the ones who use the more like traditional, like new age, I put that in quotes because that doesn't necessarily apply. That this would be like readings, astrology, that the more traditional stuff are younger adults, women, obviously, and LGBTQ. And it says more than half of LGBTQ people consult an astrologer every year.
Yeah,
That
believe
so
Wow.
I didn't know that. Is that something that you've
Me
seen, Denise?
neither.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, I see. I've talked to a lot of people in that community. Yeah.
So
I
I
believe
wonder
it.
if maybe part of it is that they feel like they don't have like a traditional like church environment or whatever to talk about whatever's going on in the world. So an astrologer probably feels
Right.
safer.
Well,
Yeah.
tarot card readers are not telling them that they're demons. You know, I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
That's true.
yeah.
But anyway, I thought that was interesting that so many see an astrologer once a year.
Yeah.
Um, this is another thing, and I think we've all seen this where spirituality is becoming very digital. And, you know, and it's not just necessarily like, you know, pick a tarot card online. You know, we've seen a lot of this with influencers on YouTube
Mhm.
and some of that other stuff. That's turning into a huge factor, especially with young people. Um, Young people, I mean, that's where it's really exploding. No religious affiliation, yet 61% still think there's a higher power. Um, And religion being so this I mean, we're all aware of what's going on right now with
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
with the Christian nationalist stuff so powerful in our government. And this is I thought this was kind of weird where we've got so many people actually leaving institutionalized religion, yet a lot of them still support Christian nationalism,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of weird. You know, I mean, do you have an explanation for that, Helen? Because you said, uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I just had a really long conversation with Andrew Watkins, if that rings a
Yes.
Yeah.
bell.
Yep.
Andrea
Yeah, and we were talking about all this. I didn't realize this is what was coming up tonight. We were talking about something like the Phoenix Declaration, that just is a heritage foundation program to make all education across the country white Christian nationalist.
Yeah.
Just have
Yep.
a nationalized curriculum. They're doing it in Florida.
Of course. We're
So
all good to go to die. Florida.
so this is the model. It's church, clergy, doctrine, that kind of thing is becoming a thing of the past. Personal intuition, online stuff, experimentation is kind of the present. And yet and I've been saying this for years, if they can't make us go to church, they're going to legislate it so that, you know, we have to do
Well,
their
yeah.
stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Future trends, there'll still be some institutional religion, but it's going to get weaker and weaker. The personalized version of spirituality will still be there. So anyway, that was just sort of the overview.
Well, if you were ever in doubt about religion being a control system, you know, this is, I mean, our government embracing Christian nationalism, it is a control system. I mean, even like what George Bush was going to do from that book we all read.
Yeah.
You know, he was going to put like a giant hologram of Jesus in the sky to convert everyone to Christianity.
I'm
Because
still waiting.
if you're afraid, if you
Oh,
keep people in fear,
no.
then they're more compliant. You know, so really, that's it.
Well, they want a theocracy, and I don't know what the cultural trends are. I know you researched it. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm sure that that's all really true, but I don't think the numbers just by themselves reflect the fact that the theocrats are taking control and they will legislate their beliefs.
Right. It's like what happened in Iran, ironically.
Exactly. Exactly.
With
And
this
a couple
small,
of generations from now,
right.
there'll be an awful lot of people who know nothing else.
Well,
speaking
I
of
don't
all of that,
think-
that database, I've been working on it. It's easier said than done to make a searchable database online, but the process has started. So I will let you guys know when you could just like type in there and find
Okay,
whatever
that'd be great.
legislation is. It's probably going to take me at least another month to get it done. Just
That's all?
Yeah.
It's not very long, dude. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just working on the code right now. That's the hard part, is to make it interface so it's easy for people to use. So
Right.
anyway, things I do in my spare time.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
need no stinking sleep.
Yeah.
I need
How many
some
hours do
sometimes.
you sleep a night, Deborah? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
5 hours at the most or something?
No.
5, 6. I get up at 4. I
Mhm.
go to bed at usually around 9.
3.
Except for show nights, I'm up till 1 or 2 trying to get ready. But no, when I go to bed, man, I'm just like gone. Just
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
bet
one
you
that just
Good.
lays.
look out.
I mean, I've got some friends that go to bed early and then they just lay there thinking half the night. So
No,
in a
yeah.
way, my sleep is very productive.
That's good. Full use out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we get to pick a number 1 through 10, and the audience also could pick a number, but I will just start with you guys first. I will pull up a prophecy. And like I said, a lot of them seem very optimistic, but I just view it as a launch pad for our opinions, because none of us have any.
We have a lot of them. We all have lots of them. It's true.
All right, so Hella, I'm just going to go according to my screen. So you get to go first, 1 through 10.
Who, me?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, 9.
that's what I was gonna pick. Number
My favorite
9.
number. I
I was
pick
thinking
9.
that. Number 9.
It is Helen's most favorite prediction, too.
Oh, what is
no.
it?
What
5D?
is it?
Human AI.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
the topic. Oh, God.
That's a picture from the Neuralink website. And, there is some good from that, where paraplegics are able to create and to
Yeah.
talk and to write and all of that. But some futurists are pushing it a little bit farther, where it's kind of like, like this total, even if you don't need something like that. And then,
Right.
my friend Gary thinks it's like really cool, and he's like, yeah, I'll put a chip in my head because I want to know everything. And I said, have you ever thought about how much spam would download into your head?
You might hack into your brain. That would be not really
Exactly.
fun.
And so Helen, since that was your pick, what are your thoughts on that prediction?
I think, I don't care if there are positive aspects to it. I think ultimately it's going to destroy us. We do not have the mental capacity or the moral integrity and judgment to use it well. And I think it's going to be like a lot of things in human history. Take, for example, the television, great entertainment and ability to educate and to disseminate news, and look at what it's become, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
You're the only one here that watches that, Helen.
I don't watch that. I don't watch that.
I've never seen one.
I've never seen
episode.
it either. I've never seen that.
I am just like so stupid when it comes to pop culture, because I never watch anything, so I don't know what anybody's talking about. But
I just want to make it really clear, I don't
point
watch any
taken though.
Housewives. Pardon?
Well,
Point taken though.
I personally think that a lot of these future kind of predictions, like I used to read Omni magazine as a kid, because I'm a dork.
Mhm.
And there's always these futurist kind of predictions, and absolutely none of them worked out ever. I think like things are going to go in unexpected ways. And certainly I personally don't think the Christian caliphate's going to work here. I don't think that AI is going to end up being embedded in people's brains. I think that things are going to get really crazy, and a lot of these things we're gonna go in a different direction than what people expect, because that's generally what happens.
I
You know.
agree. And there's also kind of an uprising against all these
Yes.
data centers. And
Yes.
so,
That's true.
whether it's from environmental constraints or economic constraints, because look at half these are funded through what's going on in the Middle East right now. That's a bubble that's been ready to burst anyway. Now
Right.
you add this pressure on top of it. I just don't see it.
Well, you've heard.
The,
Did you hear today? Came out in the news. I think I sent you a link. But the FBI was warning California law enforcement about drones, potentially the Iranian drones coming. I mean, if you were an Iranian leader, wouldn't the data centers be like one of the places you would hit with a drone? I mean,
yeah. Well, then I dug a little deeper into that, and that whole story is kind of suspect to me.
I know. I
Because
wonder if it's like
it came out before.
Yeah.
Now they're saying that these warnings came out before this war declaration. But then when you read into it a little bit deeper, it actually came out of Mexico, and they're talking about the Mexican cartels. And from September of 2025, well, remember when we were talking about the black cubes, and they were
Yes.
seeing,
Yeah.
and they were also seeing those drones down in southern Arizona. And some look kind of UFO-y, others were
Yeah.
like drones, and they
Right.
they traced them to these Mexican cartels, these drug cartels. I think
Right.
that's what it was about. But then Newsom was on there, and he was interviewed about this, and it was a real wishy-washy answer. So, but that whole report seems very suspect to me.
I mean,
don't.
I even wondered, frankly, if it was like a false flag thing, because
Yeah.
like I told you, like last summer, before we actually went into the first round of bombings in Iran, I saw my friend Mary. She gave me the date when that would start, and she also showed me the drones like raining down hell on earth here in the United States. But my worry was that it may be our government that was going to do that to us. And I mean, people are saying if you had another event here on our soil, like a 9/11 attack
Yeah.
or something, that would boost support for this war, right,
Yep.
going on in the Middle East. So, I mean, you can't trust, I hate to say this, but you can't trust a dang thing that comes out of this, regime. So if it's Kash Patel, FBI, saying that, it's like, well, is that true? I mean,
Exactly.
or maybe it's true, but is it something else? Is it, you know what I mean? It's like you can't really tell.
And I've been getting again this thing where I'm seeing these black cube things, and it's been
Again or
happening a lot.
still?
And kind of in my mind, whether it's right or not, but what has been coming to me in my own meditations is that the black cube, in a way, is like representative of Islam. Where
Yeah, right. With
everybody goes.
yeah.
And
the
what
black
I think that this is may be some kind of military drone, and it could be a false flag blaming it on Islam. Is kind of, and where I see these things it's like the same thing I keep seeing in the meditations. It's like it feels Midwest to me, and kind of like a central, just like residential kind of area. And I'm starting to think that that's what it is. It's not metaphysical. It's or like
Kind of-
alien at all. They're
Right.
because this is where, when you've watched like some of these UFO testimony things, they talk about these freaking black cubes.
Black cubes, yeah.
And there was that patent that was filed in the 1950s for those. They are a military drone, is what they are.
Yeah. Yeah. They
And
might
so
be
I think that's what I was seeing. And then I woke up today, and I'm kind of in chills even talking about it, because every morning that's how I start. I do a meditation. And I don't know. I just had this feeling around 4th of July, we're going to see a shitload of these things. And
we're
that
gonna
would
see it.
match with this like summer look
250.
that I've seen, and the thing is, when you get a vision or whatever, it's so hard to like say what year it is. You can see the season,
Yeah.
but it's hard to know
Right.
when it is.
Yeah.
But I
Exactly.
just had it was just like overwhelming, and I'm just in chills even talking about this right now. And again, this could very well be, like you said, a false flag. I think they've already got the
Yeah.
technology. I think they've been testing this, and then you see some pilots that aren't, in the inner circle understanding, what's going on top secret. So they see them and then they report them as unidentified aerial whatever phenomena.
Yeah, UAPs. Yeah.
I think they've been planting seeds in the public's mind, and they're, not so subtle, but they're subtle. So, for example, Trump comes out and rants in the most terrific way about Elon Omar and the Muslim Somalians eating cats and dogs, and they're planting these seeds of hatred that grow. Fertile soil.
Yeah.
Andy Ogles the other day came out and said,
evil.
he's your fault.
He is such a. No, he's not my fault. I do.
He said there's no place in this country for Islam, for Muslims. There's no place.
I heard that. Yeah. He's such a douche. He's such
and I think they're working slowly and surely on the consciousness of the American public, so that when something like that's a false flag happens, it's easy for us to believe.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, okay, so now it's your turn with the really nice hair, Denise, tonight.
My turn. Okay, thanks.
From 1 through 10, and 9 is out. So
I'll take 7.
You guys are picking your favorites. All right.
This is the 5D one, right?
What is it?
No, okay.
The solar flash and awakening.
This is one of my favorites.
There's the 5D.
Yep.
5D.
Yeah, 5D.
Like this big bright light, and it triggers like this massive awakening in consciousness. It'll raise your vibe, activate dormant DNA, trigger telepathic abilities, and shift us into a higher state of awareness. And this is very big in the YouTube. When I first heard that, I thought, oh my God, it's a freaking nuclear bell blast. That's what we'll see.
It is a nuclear blast. It's a big giant nuclear. The sun is a nuclear oven. So, this is probably my biggest pet peeve of all the New Age stuff. This one, because it is so ridiculous in every possible way. It's just so hopium bullshit. This is not how things work. I mean, has there ever in the history of the world as human beings, have anything like this ever happened? I mean, there's been solar flares throughout history. Why would a solar flare trigger everyone's inactive DNA? The only thing that's going to make your DNA become activated is if you do the spiritual work. You actually do the work and you evolve as a spiritual being, and you will get spiritual gifts as you do the work. I mean, everything in this reality is like that. That's just the most insane, and it's to me, it's just a reworking of the whole, rapture stuff. It's
and all of it is a misunderstanding of a deep, sophisticated, very old philosophy that's metaphorical and describes moving from identification with the body to an awakening to spirit.
That's right.
All it is. And
but
how
it's
many
turned
times
literal.
can they twist it?
It's just a literal. It's just that kind of stuff. I think it is just really. It's lazy, basic. It's just really lazy. I mean, that's another problem I have with it. It's like, oh, you're just suddenly going to wake up one day and everything's going to be great. You don't have to do anything about it. The sun is going to just have a solar flare. We're all going to wake up and be in perfect, beautiful heaven.
I didn't realize that was part of it. That cracks me up.
I didn't know the solar flare part, but I mean, basically the whole 5D thing it's just a reworking of the rapture. It's like all of a sudden the world's going to we're all going to become perfect, and we're going to live in a heavenly place where we all get along. I wish that were true, but it's not going to happen. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing. And people have been asking me about it personally, because I've been a psychic since working in that, as working in that since 1990. And as it started to evolve in the 90s, everybody who knew me would be like, have you heard about this? We're all going to 5D. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. No, it's not going to happen. It was like, you know, and the date keeps moving further and further out.
Yeah,
Just like
yeah.
the rapture. Just like the
Mhm.
rapture.
Exactly. All right. And then if anyone in the chat wants to throw a number out there, that's fine. But Bove, it's your turn. 1 through 10. We picked 7 and 9. So
4.
Ooh. That's a hard working number.
Sort of a same theme here
Okay.
of
AI becoming a spiritual.
It's like the worst of both of those
Oh.
other previous.
Yeah. Damn.
basically what they're talking about is AI having personhood and having
Going
its own
rogue.
Right.
consciousness. But then some of these take this a little bit farther and saying that it is like
AI is
almost like a
God.
godlike figure that will guide humanity.
That is a terrifying and ridiculous thought. Really.
I had a
No.
conversation with Ramon the other night. He's Moon Scarab Tarot, and he was trying to persuade me that it's the next evolutionary step.
Can I just say one thing about the AI thing
Oh,
that
please.
nobody seems to be saying about it, that I brought it up before, but AI is based on our database on the internet, right? Of our stupid, dumbass ideas,
Yep.
all of our scientific stuff that we.
Speak for yourself, all right?
I mean, all the schlock that's on there, all the bullshit, all of humanity's good things and bad things, right? That's what it's training on. It's not going to be smarter than us if that's the building blocks of us, right? I mean, unless it can somehow leap past us. I mean, yeah, okay, it's going to be a really, really, really smart version. I mean, I know people like this who have like crazy high IQs, right? And they are like computers, like they can move. And we talked about this. There's a difference between intelligence and wisdom, right? And there are people who are absolutely brilliant. Like you can give them like a mathematical formula, can in their brain just like spit it out. You know, they can quote from every single book they ever read. But a lot of them are total morons when it comes to wisdom. You know what I mean? They don't have any depth. They're not necessarily able to sort of put that information into any kind of pattern recognition or how things are actually moving, or they are very smart in that they can remember. They're like elephants. They have this great memory, but they don't have any real depth of understanding about it. And it's like, to me, that's what AI is. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. AI has a purpose. I mean, if you use it for what it, and take it with a grain of salt, but the idea that it's going to be somehow some kind of godlike intelligence based off of our monkey brain bullshit that we're throwing.
Think about it
No,
for a
I've
minute.
seen-
You're going to have all the brain in the world, super intelligent, with no capacity for empathy or compassion.
Exactly.
It's a word for
psychopath.
that.
Yeah, it's a psychopath. Right. That's the other problem with it.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I don't understand how people can't see that. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Lizzie. And
I just
folks
don't
in the chat, if you want to throw a number out there, we'll put out a prophecy for it. Now, one of the things that I've seen in some of the like more fringy stuff where I go is they were talking about good, Crystal Blue pick one, that AI will be able to decipher alien communication and thus build its knowledge base from ETs. That's really taking a leap.
That's a major leap since we don't have access to that at this point.
Exactly. I mean, but that's where some of them are, that's like their answer
if
to
that
what
was
you're
true, saying. If it was true, if, for example, you didn't just feed it all of our dreck, and it actually had its own systems, like it had infrared eyeballs, and it was able to sense everything, and it had its ability to kind of meander around the planet and discover things itself. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if it had some other source of information that wasn't us, possibly it could become smarter than us, but how can it become smarter than us? I mean, it can become the smartest version of us, but how
But
can it
that's it.
exactly?
And why
Yep.
why is that a goal when we can't even cope with our own brains?
Exactly.
I don't understand the obsession with it. It's
Because it's new. Because
it's
it's new.
lazy.
It's new.
Really
Yeah.
lazy is
New.
what I think. Oh.
It's
Okay,
yeah,
so
lazy.
we
Yeah,
have Crystal gave us the number 2, and then we'll do 3 from Lorimar. So thank you. So here comes
excellent.
prophecy number 2, which seems a little more realistic than these other ones.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Oh, well, yeah, that's
I
inevitable.
believe that. Yeah.
So
Yes.
they're talking about the collapse of the global financial systems. That's happening for the United States right now. Decentralized currencies, cooperative economic models, more community-based economies.
Mhm.
A lot of this comes with some of their great awakening narratives. Now, I've heard that a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's all going to go like digital, like Bitcoin kind of stuff." Again, you need those databases to have that. I see
Yeah, I
it
didn't know
more.
about that. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna
I
end up
see
happening.
it more as trade.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
mean,
It's
when
gonna go
things
the
are
other
all
direction.
messed up,
Like black
I've got some
market.
feeds. I'll give you,
Yeah.
well, just
Yeah.
trading, just things
Yeah.
that
Barter.
we need to be
Bartering.
able to, to survive. I really
I
see it
agree.
going that way because
I think so
money
too.
it's just not
Well,
going to work.
I
Toilet
agree.
paper and water. I'll give you 2 gallons of water for 4 rolls of toilet paper.
Yes, exactly. You can hear the New Jersey accent when you say water. I love it. Yeah,
It's there.
yeah, that's awesome. You know what? I was just actually, hey, I keep telling fellow authors not to be so worried about AI. They can't do critical thinking at all. Just iterate what they
True.
know. But folks seem, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yep.
Also, iterate more than originate. That's right. That is very true. She's right about that too.
Will
Will
it
it
be
be like
like the Great Depression or the Dark Ages?
okay? So I've
Or
actually
a nice little mixture of both, I think.
I've been doing a lot of astrology over the last couple of weeks, looking at the financial system. I always do that, but lately because of the war, I've been kind of looking at that. So I predicted like a while ago, probably maybe even a couple of years ago, the progressed moon was going to hit this sensitive point in the New York Stock Exchange. And the day it happened was the day we went to war with
Oh.
Iran. It was literally that same week, and that's when the market started tanking. It lasted for about a month, that progression. But what I see coming down the pike, which is really kind of disturbing, is a period of a lot of problems with the economic system, and ultimately not anytime soon, though, where I think the economic system will collapse, and it's probably going to be as a result of this, what's going on now, escalating into a much bigger and wider war. And on that point, I want to say, I don't know if you guys heard this information, but this just came out today too. And what's another thing I talked about on a video that I put out. I didn't put the right one out, but I talked about it on a video that's going to come out tomorrow. But it came out on, I put the wrong one out. It was supposed to come out on Tuesday. But anyway, that we stopped sanctioning Russia, right? And
Yeah.
I was listening to a bunch of people over the Christmas holiday saying, "Oh, Putin, he's got no money. It's going to collapse on itself," and all. And I was like, I don't know what's going to happen, but that ain't going to happen. Well, now that we have, desanctioned them and they have money in their coffers, they're building up to start to invade the Baltic nations. The exact things we've been talking about now.
What have we been saying?
We've been saying this for like how many years now? Okay, so it's getting ready to happen while we're embroiled in the shit with Iran. So I think the thing is, like I was saying, and I've been thinking, I knew these two things are connected, how they were. Now I see how they're connected. Okay, but this is not going to go away anytime soon. This is going to keep getting worse over time, from my feeling. Even if we pull out because Trump hits, his whatever tickle on his butt or whatever it is that happens when he pulls out and then goes back in and pulls out and goes back in.
Well, he's pulling out because he promised he wouldn't come.
I saw that one coming.
I set it up and you knocked it down.
I saw that one coming.
Yeah, I feel bad.
I feel horrible for Ukraine.
Yeah, Ukraine.
Horrible.
I do too. They're on the front lines of holding the line on democracy.
Yeah.
And
I know.
it's horrible. It truly is.
Trump has to beg Zelensky for help. What
I
the
know.
hell? How dare you? How
I
dare?
know.
Oh,
I know.
Hope Trump said thank you.
you know, he don't thank
No.
nobody for nothing.
No.
Well,
it
and there's two other things that kind of showed up. Now, I've been following way more like foreign news than American news because I just don't trust what we're being told.
Yeah.
There's a big thing out there, alerts about banks being bombed.
Yes, that's
all over
another
the place.
thing.
That's a big one that they've been saying. And then another thing, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but it was like early last week. You know, I logged into my bank account, just make sure everything is, and this little notice flashed up on there that said, we're sorry, the FDIC is having issues right now. Check back later.
Shit.
Oh, that's scary.
So then I have another account where I have my business, one of my businesses. So I thought, well, that's kind of weird. I wonder if it's just this bank. So I checked that one, and that one's Wells Fargo, and the exact same thing popped up.
Wow.
We're sorry. Check back later. There's an issue going on with the FDIC. So
That's
I
creepy.
personally think, and since that's going on, I mean, I have been very concerned about some cyber issues.
Yes, I agree, because we have basically hatcheted our cybersecurity stuff for the US. The other thing that's related to this is the Scandinavian countries just put out a warning to their people to get a bunch of money out of the banking system for, and to have like something like 1,000 kroners. I don't remember what it is, but it's enough to pay bills for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, because ATMs won't work and the electronic cash register type things won't work. And
that was last week, and they must hear chatter that they're going to go after the banking system, and I mean that's a good reminder to kind of people
and
should
we know
get
our intelligence didn't hear it because Tulsi Gabbard's in Fulton County looking at voting records.
Wow.
Instead of,
Oh, Joy is here. Woohoo! Good
Oh
to
my
see
God,
you.
I'm late. Joy.
You're late than
You'll,
ever.
you,
Shame
you'll
on
have
you.
to check. You'll have to give us a number, Joy. 1, 5, 6, 8, or 10. These are our New Age prophecies. But one thing that happened out here. I mean, we're very remote where I am, and this was probably 4, 5, maybe even 7 years ago. We had no internet, no phone lines, nothing. And so, of course, the only ATM that worked was a real old one in the drugstore that was still connected to a landline.
I remember
And
you
of course,
saying
that
that.
eventually ran out of cash. But you couldn't communicate with anyone, do anything. And we all ended up bartering with everybody. And so
Wow.
even the gas pumps, you couldn't get those to work. And you
Wow.
couldn't go to a bank and cash a check, even though the banker knows you, because everything goes through this federal
System.
FDIC thing.
Right.
And so it has to go through the internet, so they can't cash the check.
Wow.
So that's why when I saw this FDIC thing, I was kind of like, but we just ended up out here, and this went on for like 2 weeks of this.
Oh,
That's
shit.
Just started,
crazy.
Wow.
A long
just
time.
started bartering, and there was one guy that had to get to the doctor, and he couldn't get gas. He had enough to just get to probably out of the zone where everything was working out here. So I'm out there with my truck, had a hose, siphoning, getting gas into his vehicle, and then he gave me a bunch of food.
Oh, wow.
So I kind of think that's how it works. And so then I was telling my telling Gary about this. And he goes, oh, that's not true. I just hate that when you go through something and then they mansplain to you and tell you, no, it didn't happen.
That's insane.
And I go down to see him, and he was like all freaked out. And he goes, all of our internet went down here. The phones went to everything. So they went through that too. And he happened to have like his own satellite thing. This was before Starlink and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And so they were able to get the news to find out what the hell was happening. So then it happened to us a second time. And there was like this huge outage. And there were these people going, and they found the underground, like where all these cables connect. And apparently Verizon, all of them connect in one place, and they had buried it after the first incident, like 6 feet under. Wherever these people were, they knew where that was buried.
It was.
They just took their guns and shot into there and knocked us all again.
Who the fuck did that? Did
Why
they
would they do that?
Yeah, why did they do that?
There's just it's like one of those open-ended stories. Nobody knows. Remember, that happened in North Carolina too, and there was a big thing about that. So anyway, they took this and they talked to the Arizona Corporation Commission because 9/11 doesn't work. You can't, if you see a fire, you can't do anything. You can't, so we're so dependent on, and so anyway, somebody died of a heart attack because of this, because they couldn't get them to the doctor. And so to me, this I think plays into the economic problem.
Oh, sure.
Too.
Yeah. I
and
agree
just
with that.
From learned experience, that's what you do. You just start trading. And,
Yeah.
you can't eat a dollar bill. You can eat a potato, though.
When did that happen, though? When did that happen, Deborah? Just wondering when this occurred. Just before
the first time was maybe like 7 years ago. I'm very bad with dates. I'd have to go. Yeah. And then the one after that was maybe 3 years ago. So we've had two of these. We've had two of them.
Okay. Interesting. Sorry, Helen.
This is gonna freak you out. So everyone knows I live in the Northwest, so I get news from all around the region, right? And I don't live in Seattle. Just FYI. I read an article in the paper the other day that some area in Seattle, and I'm not familiar with it, so I can't tell you where, has changed its 911 system so that when you call, they route it to nurses in Texas who decide, do you really need an ambulance? Do you need an Uber, or can you just wait? And some woman died. I'm not making this up.
That's insane.
Some random Texas nurse, no offense to Texas nurses, is on the phone saying, well, you broke your leg, but somebody else can't breathe. So get yourself into an Uber and go to the emergency room. Our ambulances are busy right now. And people are dying. It is really bad.
Wow. That's really insane. Why did Seattle go along with that? Why did they go along with that? I mean,
it's money. It's money, services. And the ironic part of it, if I'm remembering correctly, when I was in grade school, Seattle was on the cutting edge of CPR. They had the most number of people who knew CPR. I can remember reading an article in Scholastic newspaper, in grade school, that if you collapsed in the corner in Seattle, you had the best opportunity of finding someone who could resuscitate you. It was all very new, and here we are, full circle.
Wow, that's weird. It's very strange.
Okay, so Lorimar had picked prediction number 3. This is one that you guys will love. They're kind of interrelated in a way.
Yeah.
3D to 5D, yes.
This is your favorite, yep.
Absolutely.
So spiritual teachers claim Earth is shifting from 3D to 5D. How do they shift from 3 to 5? What happens to 4?
I don't know. And also, how do you get an entire planet to pop out of this universe into another dimension? I'd really like to know the physics of that. I mean, we look at, this is just insane. I mean, is my soda can or my water can gonna all of a sudden pop into another dimension? I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean,
Well, I did that to get you guys riled up. That's why we're doing this show tonight.
It just makes me insane because it is so stupid. I mean, and when you try to tell people who this, I know this all came from your favorite person, Dolores Cannon.
Say this. Stop accusing me of her being my favorite person.
But you have read all her books. Yeah.
Yes, I've read her books. I've also read Mein Kampf, but I'm not in love with her. I don't want to repeat names. I don't want to get personal, but somebody associated with her when I
know what you're gonna say. Yeah, I've been thinking about that too.
Not in my world.
Yeah, yeah.
What the fuck world do you live in? Because I see it right here in front of me, you know?
Yeah, right.
It's just ridiculous.
But this goes back to that weird sort of mega culty, right-wingy sort of new agey yoga thing. Do you know what I'm saying? There's like there's this weird collective, like the people that were like freaking out that 5G was the real reason why the pandemic was happening. What happened to that? You know,
you're kidding. You better make it clear for YouTube that you're just kidding, or you'll get in trouble.
Well, obviously, it's a joke. It's a ridiculous thing to say. I mean, I knew, unfortunately, a friend of a friend went down that, and he's not very bright. That's true. But he was posting all over the place, him and his insane wife, all about that. And I was like, I cannot believe that this person is that dumb to think that. I mean, it doesn't even make any sense. I mean, but okay, so 5G now everything is 5G. What happened to the conspiracy theory? I mean,
exactly. I thought 5G and 5D confused.
I know, aren't they? They had a baby, and
no, I'm totally serious. I thought.
No, I know. It's kind of weird. I know. It is
that they're both. So those
5.
who try to say, oh, this isn't a physical thing, they're saying, well, it's just a metaphor that conflict will decline, telepathy will increase, and humanity becomes more cooperative. And this is and the shift is already underway. And this is the thing where I was saying at the beginning, yes, these are very optimistic, but if we ever got to this point where less conflict and telepathy and humans are cooperating,
wow, we're
that's
really
going to be
getting
a
there
long
now.
stress. Yeah,
have they read the paper?
Stretch.
Yeah, we're really getting there right now, aren't we? Yeah, that's how we elected like whatever Satan spawn, and have everybody who's a major leader is like a complete psychopath right now. Makes a lot of sense. It's definitely going to go to 5D.
Well, you know what I heard? The Board of Peace, and it's all dictators and everything. I've heard they've broken up and they all went home. And I was telling somebody, well,
did they get their money back?
No, I think they had to go report into their parole officers. All
Okay, so Joy picked number 8. Thank you, Joy. And then we've got 3 more after that if anyone wants to pick a number.
Oh, telepathy tapes. Yeah, I've heard that. I've listened to that.
So some of them are talking about, that some of the children coming in have a heightened awareness or psychic abilities, kind of it's pave the way.
This telepathy tapes, I've listened to it. It's actually all about non-verbal autistic kids.
Yeah.
It's not about the indigo.
Via devices now.
Yeah, so it's not indigo and crystal children related. It's actually people that have kids who are on the spectrum and non-verbal, and being able to finally communicate with them, and they realize that they're telepathic, and I think that's I think that's actually true.
Yeah, I think because they're nonverbal doesn't mean they don't have a rich inner life.
Yeah, and that they're not intelligent. I mean, the other thing is, the reason I think this is true is because I have been around a lot of kids on the spectrum, because my daughter's on the spectrum, and she's verbal, but I can tell you that the thing I always saw about the kids on the spectrum is that they're like, their souls are kind of like kind of how I was when I popped out of my body when I almost died, and I was sort of like above my body, sort of puppeting my body, and I had like 360 degrees, and
Yeah.
they're not really, for whatever reason, totally implanted into their bodies, which I think is part of the reason why they have that thing where they can't.
Trouble with sensory
neurological stuff.
Yeah.
And there is some evidence to suggest that like people who have like brain damage can actually be more psychic. So maybe I'm really brain damaged.
Blue's comment here, I think it's because there's a lag like of a few seconds. So I think she was talking about this peace group. Somebody must have gotten
yeah.
Because there's a lag like 10 seconds, I think. So that's what that was about.
But I think that the telepathy tapes are for I listened to them. I listened to the whole series, and it was really interesting listening to all those people's stories. And I definitely have seen it with my own kid, even though she's not nonverbal. She's done that herself when she doesn't know it. Like she's, I think there is something to that. And I think that you could say that autism and neurodivergence might be the burgeoning of a different iteration of human. Yeah. But it's still being worked out.
Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows.
We don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
The magenta aura, that's the one I want. I look really good in magenta.
Yes, magenta is the color on the spectrum. That is the color you see.
Yeah, I'm wearing it. It probably doesn't look like it on the screen, but I'm wearing magenta today.
Oh, that's a great color too. It's really. I was going to mention earlier. I really like your shirt. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Let me see. Okay, this is another one based on past discussion. That's what she was referring to. Yeah. Okay, so quite a lag there.
Isn't that
all right? So Joy picked number 6. Thank you for picking.
Nice. Disclosure of non-human intelligence.
That was supposed to happen at the State of the Union address.
Yeah. Wasn't he going to release that?
He probably doesn't even know.
And lumped into this a little bit is, discovery of ancient alien civilizations. I think some of that's going on in New Mexico right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah, but there's more coming, and confirmation that humans are part of a larger cosmic community. That one I would agree with, actually.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Actually,
you know what, Deborah, I think there's a lot of research and a lot of archaeological stuff going on, and it involves people in the Vatican. Interestingly enough,
very aware of that.
They have, and it's going on kind of under the table, sub rosa. They're not making a big deal out of it. People like Paul. Oh my God, I can't remember his name. I'm just getting too old for this. This is terrible. Who wrote all the books, about never mind, ancient aliens. The guy from Australia, he's a priest.
I don't know. His name is Paul. Okay, that's fine.
I'm going to look it up because I'm going to lose my mind.
There she goes.
That is an area that I do think is, what's interesting lately too. There have been a lot of increased UFO sightings.
They usually are
in New Mexico right now. And, the stuff that Justine and Matt and I have seen, like looking up towards Zuni, well, that's like towards New Mexico. So I'm thinking, I wonder if some of this is connected. And they've been finding like very ancient stuff in New Mexico under white sands that nobody knew was out there before. So I think we're going to be finding more of these types of things.
Paul Wallace.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And
talked to him several times.
I know. I knew.
Joy had mentioned it too.
And he's pals with the former linguist for the Vatican.
Thanks, Michelle.
Mauro Biglino. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. And they have really uncovered a lot of stuff. And, there's no secondary gain in it for them. In fact, it's made them kind of the laughingstock in some circles. But when you see what they're doing, in ancient Greek and ancient Sumerian or whatever they're doing it in, it's pretty incredible. And they're the ones who found in Turkey the big black cube in the desert.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what that means, but
Well, I mean, there's just so many bizarre things in archaeology that have been sort of pushed to the side because we don't understand them, and they clearly speak to something else interacting with humanity.
Well, and
throughout
hidden,
history.
I'm aware of some that I can't disclose, so I know there's some other things out there.
Well,
Thank
I
you,
have a
Joy.
900
Number 10.
Sorry, okay.
Huh?
Sorry.
What?
I was going to say I have a 900-page book called Forbidden Archaeology, full of
Yeah.
pictures and data, like where to find this thing, what museum it's hidden in, or whatever. Just anomalous archaeological finds. They can't explain it. Hide it in a drawer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joy, for picking our next prophecy here. Number 10. That kind of links into our beginning video, the
Yeah.
end of organized religion. I
think
do
that's
think
right.
some organized religion will continue. I do think there will be some, but it won't have the same power over society. But it's a long ways off. I don't think we're going to see that in the immediate future. But people are getting sick of it.
I think there will become a time when organized religion ends, but that's not going to probably be in our lifetime. But yeah, I think.
But when we have our government, I mean, in addition to the greed and all the other horrors going on with this war right now, look at all the religious talk going on with it.
Yeah, that's right.
A holy war and all that kind of crap. It's so sickening.
I think this is going to turn a lot of people off who are maybe, I think the thing is a lot of people, like all those numbers were kind of weird in the beginning of like 62% of the people call themselves Christian, but only so many people really believe in organized religion.
Yeah.
I think it's because people have an identity that they grow up in, and they, like, for example, it's really common in the Jewish culture. You're Jewish, but in sort of like a part of a tribe. But then you could also be an observing Jew or non-observing Jew. But Christians are the same thing. Like if you grow up as a Catholic, you might not be an observing Catholic, but you call yourself a Catholic.
Well,
right?
They're called
it's
Christmas
a
and
cultural
Easter
thing.
Catholics.
Yeah, it's cultural.
Yeah,
and I think that's really common. And so I think at some point, I think this whole holy war bullshit.
I agree with that.
Right on. So Crystal says, for those listening, when the world is destroyed by religious fanatics and Jesus doesn't come back to save their dumb asses,
Exactly.
that's when organized
exactly
religion
right.
is gone. It's true.
That's exactly what I think. It's like when they realize
going on right now in Iran.
That's what's going on. When they realize that this is not going to do anything but destroy everything, a lot of people are going to feel very pissed off and really disappointed and feel like they've been duped, and they're going to, think about Europe, right? They went through, could you believe that crap about the idiot being anointed by Jesus? Yes, I know. They went through
it's horrible.
They went, yeah, it is horrible. Europe went through all kinds of stuff. They went through the burning times. They went through the Spanish Inquisition. You go to Europe now, most of them are not religious. I mean, almost none of it's very secular. You're hard pressed to find people that actually go to church. It's nothing like America. They think it's ridiculous and stupid, but they generationally have that generational memory of all that trauma from that, all those stupid religious wars. We are basically a crazy bunch of Puritans who came over here with our ideas that we should conquer the world and we have the right to murder everybody because we're so special because God picked us. I remember reading that a lot of Jewish people became atheists after the Yes, I think that's true. Yeah, I'm like that.
And it rhymed. I don't remember which one it was.
What
was the rhyme?
I don't know.
There's something you said profound, Denise.
Really? I don't remember.
I don't remember. Oh, so Darcy says they had to build a system to gamify for spirituality so a hierarchy could be established. Scorecards, not spirituality. Exactly right.
They're going for a theocracy or the end of the world.
You have a cabal of people that all have, they're all interconnected right now, but if they have their way and they really were to be able to sort of get what they wanted, they would all be shooting each other in the end like a bad Western, because they each have different ideas about how they want to control everything. So they're sort of like, what's that word? Frenemies. You know what I mean? They're not real. They're using each other right now, but
You're so with it, Denise. With
am
the
I? That's
slang
such
and
an old. Frenemies is like from the 2000s or something. It's not really. Not very with it.
I still say
It's very
frenemies.
old timey at this point.
She's hip.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to tell Netanyahu and the other, and I know he knows this, but needs to tell the Jewish people in general that part of the story in the Christian Bible about the apocalypse is that they're going to kill off all the Jews at the end. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, but they don't care about that because they don't believe in the they don't believe in the apocalypse.
Right.
They're just using the
Yeah, but
dumbass.
they're working in concert with people.
Yeah,
who
I know.
believe that about
Yeah.
them. You know, it's crazy.
No, I know.
Yeah.
It is, but they don't care because they just probably think they're dumb, delusional people who can give them what they want, you know, which is a state of Israel. Now, that's not true of all Jewish people or all Israelis. And that's an important point to make because Netanyahu is evil, just like Trump is evil. And, you know,
You
I
remember
don't.
the protests.
Yeah, I don't really want to be responsible for the fact that Trump's an evil, psychotic asshole, just like people in Israel don't want to be responsible for Netanyahu being an evil. Kind of rhymes when the world is destroyed by religious fanatics. This is to come back to say their time.
True.
It does, yeah. That's really true. That's right. Yeah. Yes, Helen, but they love the Jewish people so much. Yeah, exactly. That's
they
Yeah,
love
exactly.
themselves. They love themselves and mammon, money, and not necessarily in that order.
Yeah. I always think it's hilarious because a lot of people hate the Jews for this reason. They'll say they're not really the chosen people. It's like, well, it's their God they invented. So of course they're the chosen people of the God they invented. I mean, well, you know, the Greeks were probably the chosen people of, you know,
Well, it's the whole
Athena, you know.
perversion of a philosophical point of view, and it drives me absolutely insane.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jesus
mean,
and John Wayne. If you haven't read that book, you should read that book.
I haven't read
It's all
it.
about Jesus with abs.
Well, it's ridiculous. So
But
ridiculous.
religion has turned into such a dangerous force, you know, in humanity.
It's always been a dangerous force.
It
organized
always
religion.
has. Look at the Crusades and all these other things. And, you know, and we get, oh, Lizzie brought, and I didn't see this comment. Sorry, Lizzie. This is so true. DJT just hired Erica Kirk. What is she in charge of? Something
Some kind
in
of-
the Air Force.
I think
Yes,
she's on
Air Force
the
one.
Peace Board or something. I don't know.
Air
No,
Force,
some
something
kinda-
Air Force.
She's in charge of the.
Some Air Force thing. I don't know what it
Yeah, some
is.
kind of security council thing with the and see, when I was covering this stuff 20 years ago, Pueblo was sort of like Pueblo, Colorado, where there's Air Force there, was just sort of like this magnet hole of where all of this dominionist stuff was starting to take hold. And that's when Mikey Weinstein with Murph, he was
When
on
was
that
that?
movie
Was that in
that
the
came
90s?
out. Yeah,
Was that in the 90s?
in the
Yeah.
90s. And what was the name of the book? Something, oh, no, I can't. Somebody's sword. Anyway, that's what his son was Jewish and serving out there. And they were trying to like force him to do all this Christian stuff. And but it's just like a big, and so I think that's where they're, you know, the Air Force has been the #1 place. Now it's filtering out everywhere else, but it does
Wow.
not surprise me that they put Erica Kirk. But you know, can you imagine you serve your whole life, you build seniority and rank, and then some podcaster's wife is in charge, you know, of you when you've got expertise? It's
No, well, that's
ridiculous.
how the whole government is run now. I mean, do you think
Yeah.
Pete Hegseth deserves that position? I
Yeah,
mean, he can't even
exactly.
put the fucking sentence together.
Jeez.
I looked
He
it up
was-
for you. Is it with God on our side?
No,
Helen?
somebody's sword.
With God on our side, one man's war against an evangelical coup in America's military by Michael Weinstein.
Yeah, that's one of his books. But I'm talking about the movie that he was in.
Oh, it was a movie. Oh.
Yeah, and it brought up, and it really showed what was going on in the Air Force. It was just
Documentary?
outrageous. Yeah.
Wow.
So Joy says, what happened to separation of church and state government? Yeah. Well, the thing is, they're trying to they use fancy words to
It
try
died
to
under
say,
Reagan. Yeah.
that there never really was a separation. It's just that government
Right.
can't tell churches what to do. That's what they're trying to say now. And Joy, you came in maybe a little bit late, if I'm remembering right. We're working on that database. You could see just the progression of these laws and what has happened and how they're redefining things like
Yeah.
church and state.
Yeah.
And I was telling them earlier, it'll take me at least another month to get that done because it's kind of tech complicated, but
Yes.
Well, you heard what Lauren Boebert said. She doesn't
No.
believe in that
Which
separating
time?
church and
Oh.
state junk.
yeah.
You know, the
Well, and they've been taught that.
yeah, by who? I don't. The church.
By their
Pastor.
churches, and
Again,
they grow up with
this
that,
is
and
the
then they
thing.
believe it's true.
Why does the IRS allow this? Why does our government allow this? You should have your, you're supposed to be, you're supposed to lose your IRS tax nonprofit status if you do that, but that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, it's nothing
the
worth
Speaker of
listening. The other
House-
people are worth going back for, but not that.
The Speaker of
ahead.
the House is living in a dorm-like frat house environment with Andy Ogles,
Yes.
who hates Muslims, and Steve Berger, their Tennessee big church pastor. They're all living together in some kind of throuple situation.
it probably is a throuple situation.
Well, I'm not kidding. I didn't.
No, it probably
because I don't
really
wanna get in
is
trouble.
in the truest sense of the word.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
I might have been raised, a Catholic and gone to Catholic girls' school, but I know a thing or two. I know.
She's been around. All right, we have.
I've read about it.
I'm going to throw this to Bove. We've got 2 more prophecies left, 1 and 5.
1.
Oh, good, because I wanted to end with this other one. Perfect. Another one that that Denise and Helen will love.
Yeah.
A collective consciousness awakening. But this is actually kind of interesting. This is that you could go to globalmind.org and they're tracking, basically how consciousness is working. You could almost predict human behavior based on that. You see these spikes, you see all that. So they're not, yes, they're saying there's going to be a global consciousness shift, but this project is actually looking at that, taking it seriously to see where it's going. So there is some validity to this one.
Are you talking about, are these the guys that go through the internet and sort of look for themes that are repeated before they happen? Or is this a different thing?
Yeah,
okay.
They do. And
That's
they're studying consciousness. Yeah.
But that makes sense to me, and it's not necessarily indicative of a change in consciousness. It's more like that morphic resonance, or the idea of Jung's like collective consciousness is like, we do kind of feel things before they happen, and most people don't pay attention to it. But that's kind of like what I was saying about how, before Trump came into office, the Fox thing was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
What does the Fox say was really popular with all the kids, and on YouTube, there's all this Fox stuff, and that's the metaphor for Trump. I mean, he's a Fox.
What I think?
Not the way he looked, but his personality. What we attribute to the Fox, like being a trickster.
I think it's like the science version of the Edgar Cayce stuff. I think they're studying the idea of non-local consciousness.
Yeah.
I think Stefan Schwartz talked about that. He's so smart. Sometimes I just nod and smile and I don't know what he means, but I think that's what he was talking about. Yeah.
This is such a good point. Watch those are these cartoons, and they've been very, very accurate.
Somebody
so accurate.
And must be pretty psychic, or one of the writers,
the Simpsons have been real scary with their dead-on predictions.
A lot of those guys who originally started writing for them, they're like, I'm making this up, but they're in the same league, like PhDs in astrophysics and stuff. They're all real. They're like all the members of Queen, the band Queen. They're all ultra educated and really smart.
Wow. So Priyanka says her husband was on the phone with a Trumper, and he still supports Trump, even though he's a brown man himself. I had to leave the room.
Get that. I just don't get it.
But it's very much like it's Bove, it's very much like religion. Like, what was it? The Jehovah Witnesses that kept talking about, oh, the end times are going to be such and such a date, and then it didn't happen, but the people still stayed in and believed, oh, we're just amending this or whatever. I think people have become so identified with this movement that they're
Yeah.
never going to like split away from it at all.
Until it bites them directly in the ass, and then they kind of go,
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But I even saw some, like in Texas, where was it in Texas where a child died of measles, and the parent said, "Well, that's okay. It was God's will. I'm glad I didn't vaccinate him."
Wow.
And so you see some of this. Then I saw
Wow.
another interview where some
That
guy and
is
his
good shit right
wife
there.
was thrown in the camps, and he was like, "Oh, I still support this." And so that just shows how
Wow.
deep this belief system kind of is. It's
Well, I think it also shows something else, that those people are mentally ill and that they are lacking in empathy severely.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah,
like
Joy heard it
I
too.
mean, I personally think, and this may sound judgmental because it probably is, but I have yet to meet somebody who's a Trump supporter who doesn't have a screw loose. I mean, who doesn't have something wrong with them. Either they seem to have a personality disorder, or they seem to have some serious trauma, or they seem to have like maybe they're not stupid,
Yes,
but
Or
yes,
maybe they're
Priyanka.
just greedy.
Yes.
I know
alt-like
personally-
behavior. Yeah.
I know men personally I won't say exactly how I know them.
I know how you know them.
Educated, intelligent, they had a strong ethical foundation. Love it. They love the
Yeah, but they grew up in an authoritarian household and they're broken.
Okay, well, I get your point. I see what
Yeah.
you're saying, but
They're not. It doesn't have anything to do with intelligence. It has to do with it's from what I have seen, the people that I have interacted with, they are people who are broken. They're broken people. They have serious issues, like unaddressed trauma.
a lot of men are broken. They love the
And a
people.
lot of men don't address their issues and they don't work on themselves.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You know.
Laura Mark
And
brings
she-
up
yeah,
about the racism.
Yeah, and he allows them to be hateful because they expect this inner rage that they have that they get to express, and he makes it okay because they have hatred for themselves. They don't feel full. They don't feel secure in themselves. Anybody who can look at the Trump stuff has to have some empathy problem, and that empathy problem comes from some kind of brokenness. Muslim community supported him, and after Trump called them garbage, one of the said he would support him because they share conservative values. Wow,
That was
Again,
a segment, not the
broken
full Muslim community. Just I know the one there was in Michigan. Yeah,
I am
Again,
so worried about
broken
Elon
person.
Omar.
I know, yeah, I know all of
This
them.
just keeps coming back to me. That's never a good sign. I am so worried about her. I hope she
Yeah.
has protection.
Well, you heard about what happened in New York with
Manjami.
Mandami, right? It was like, what the hell? That was so bizarre. And the people that were throwing the bombs were Muslim.
It's
So make that make sense. I don't.
They were Muslim. Yeah, but were they?
Yeah, they were. They were.
So what was
actually.
their excuse?
I fucking don't know. This is what I'm saying. They're crazy people, I guess. I mean, I don't get it. I honestly, maybe he's not Muslim enough.
I was
Maybe
going to say, yeah, it's like
I don't know.
like those killings of girls. What are they called? When they kill young women because they're involved in a relationship that shames the family.
Yes.
There's a term
Or
for
raped.
it. Yeah,
when they're raped.
maybe his willingness to work within the system is
Or maybe with
new.
Trump.
Yeah.
He did go and visit Trump. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Honor killings. Maybe he's
Yeah.
offended their sense of honor.
Maybe.
my internet bleeped out for a second. Sorry. This was the last prophecy,
Oh, okay.
which would be wonderful, but it's going to take us a hell of a long time to get there, if we even do. a planetary civilization.
Yeah.
And that's more of a philosophical thing. That, well, it's almost like Star Trek or something.
That will happen
You've
eventually.
got, yeah, and I think it will.
Mhm.
That we care about the climate, shared space exploration, kind of a global sort of. And if you have AI, you're going to use it in a coordinated, responsible way.
Right.
And so, thinkers that are studying evolution for civilization have brought this up. I think that it is possible, but we're a long way from that, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I think yeah,
Yes, it would
would
be
would be
nice,
nice.
Joy.
I think that as we destroy ourselves in the world and we end the Piscean age, then we learn to work together in communal kind of situations, and maybe we have an overarching, unifying idea that we're all people. But I think it's going to go into much more smaller communities and people being held accountable. But
Yep.
then maybe that can be knitted together into we're all earthlings, because I don't think our technology will completely go away. And I think we will end
Right.
up getting to the place where we go off into other planets and we do space exploration. And once we see that, once most of us are kind of going off planet, that will become our identity, being earthlings rather than Americans and
I
all
agree
the
with that, and it'll be like a more responsible form of energy,
right,
um,
exactly.
and use of AI, and that's part of it. This oil, it has not been good for our
No,
climate
it's
or
terrible on
environment.
every level. It's
And
absolutely
that scene with the oil rain coming down, that just made me sick to my stomach seeing that. I mean, these people are going to suffer for, and the thing is, when you destroy the planet in one place, it floats around everywhere else. It's not
yeah,
going to
right.
just be
We're
contained right there. People,
exactly.
the
It's
stupidity
everywhere.
is,
It's insane.
next week it's supposed to be 100 degrees in Tucson in
Wow,
March.
wow, that's scary.
We know that climate is an issue, and this stuff
Absolutely.
cannot be helping with the health of our climate. It's just going to get hotter and hotter. I had heard in metaphysical, I don't know if it's true or not, but I had heard that heat represents anger. It's like a
Hmm.
manifestation of anger.
Oh, I
And so
believe it.
you keep spreading this kind of stuff and hate and wars, and people that don't agree with it becoming
Yeah,
angry too. And it just heats everything up. That's why they call anger red. They show it as
right.
red. And
Right,
so they
makes
have
sense.
talked about it with the climate. Um, Yes, it's very cancerous. And
Yeah.
the thing is, I don't think that's the only one. And we're hearing this talk, and I could be wrong, but it's going to end. Trump said it's going to end. No, bullshit.
No, it's
It
not going to end.
keep going for a long time. You cannot just go in and do this to a proud people. I don't care whether you agree with their leader or not. You don't do
Right.
this stuff.
No,
I
no.
want to know how we underestimated Iran's strength, and because my point of view from what I've seen, they have come back. I mean, from the very beginning, once they retaliated the first time, it's just been with a vengeance. And we're being told this is gone. We wiped out this from Iran.
Yeah,
We wiped out that from Iran. And it's still coming. And now we
This
got to
is
be
why
scared of drones
I
in
don't listen.
California.
I don't listen to American news. It's all
yeah.
propaganda.
It is.
Listen to this stuff.
Could you
Listen to
would
just
you
in
consider
YouTube. Yeah, go ahead.
would you consider going on the forum and maybe posting some reliable news sources that we can access? Is that
Yeah, if I have
something
some
that
time,
you
but
would
I'm not
support?
going to swear. Yeah, but I'm not going to swear to
Eventually.
anything being reliable. Yeah,
Yeah, I
get
don't
it
think
right.
Okay,
anything is.
well then let's call it Deborah's favorites.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's
yeah.
just. But anyone who has
Everything is
studied,
planned.
remember it was
Yeah.
like a few months ago on this show, I was telling you guys, well, maybe beforehand, I was just like obsessed with Iran, and I was watching all these travel videos, and I stayed up like all night. Now, back in the day, I do want to mention this comment. Priyanka says the mother of Ruben Ray Martinez, who is an American citizen and killed by ICE, says she doesn't blame the president for his death. I think that's the one I was talking about. The story upsets me so much. Her own son's death wasn't enough to open her eyes.
Open her eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when I
Again.
was going to the University of Texas, this was many moons ago, I was telling my mother this weekend. I enrolled in this logic and philosophy class, thinking it was like philosophy. Well, it turns out it's just math problems and word problems. And I was the only female in this class. It was Japanese, Iranian, and Iraqi men. That's it.
Wow.
No white guys either.
Wow.
And it was very, very violent in Dallas back in those days. And so what was happening was that a lot of women walking to the parking lot at night were not only being molested, they were getting murdered.
Wow.
But I started teaching these guys English. So it was like after class, and I wrote to a high school teacher, and he sent me all these free English books because I thought they were very good and it was very structural. And so we had this class like every night, and I was helping them with their English. And they I had like my own army of men that would take me to the,
Right
and it
on.
was awesome. They were wonderful, such gracious, beautiful people, you know, that
Right.
would take me to my car every night so that I wouldn't get hurt. Nobody mess with me out there, you know.
I bet.
And I
Yeah.
considered these like very close friends, you know, and we would
Sure.
share in the culture and things like that and talk about, you know, and I watch this stuff and it makes me sick how
Yeah.
they just, you know, demonize a whole people and
Yeah.
then act
It's
like they're
ridiculous.
stupid, not recognizing their military prowess. I mean, the Persian
I know.
Empire's been
It is.
around for a
I
long
mean,
time.
Iranians, I mean, people, the Middle East, the Persian culture. I mean, they invented
Hello?
fucking math.
Yes.
Persian Empire, anybody?
What the fuck? You know?
Yeah. They've been around for
know-
thousands of and it's just like China too. They plan for the long term. They've been expecting this and
Yes,
putting
they-
Yeah.
and so then when you listen to, you know, news outside of the United States, they have been warning about this for a very, very
That's
long
right.
time.
That's right.
And so
Yeah.
then when you know, Trump did his last, we obliterated the nuclear weapons. They
No,
just
they
did
didn't.
like a little show to basically
Yeah.
appease everybody. And it's like, oh, that way, you know, it shows that we fight back a little bit. But they've been planning on this. They are not stupid. And that's what
No.
gets me about American media. It's like we're so myopic, like America,
Yes,
the only
yes.
place with culture, the only
I
you know, we're
agree.
so short-sighted. We don't
It-
think
yeah.
long term.
Well,
It's
not only
Xenophobia born of just ignorance.
yeah.
not only that, but you know what else bothers me is
Hubris.
you listen to
Thanks,
like
Crystal.
historians or people who are, you know, trained in American academic institutions, and they also take a lot of things. The history itself is fraught with propaganda and bullshit, and they are coming from a place so indoctrinated in just layers of stupidity and bullshit that they've never examined, and they
Yep.
just take for granted that you listen to some of these people. I mean, and you go, man, like that is coming from such a stupid place. You don't even realize it. And they're not dumb people. They've just been indoctrinated into this
Right.
system of thinking. You know?
Let me recommend a really good source to try to understand at least domestically what's going on. Is this
Please.
former history teacher called Jared Yates Sexton?
Oh yeah, Jared. He's really good.
Yeah.
He's
He's
a really good-
wonderful. He wrote a book called The Midnight
Yeah.
Kingdom.
Yes, he's really good.
Clear-sighted, logical.
I listen to him and I think, did we have the same brain? Because like he says the same thing that I say. Like
Mhm.
Denise, I have him on my channel.
he's really, I
He's a
cannot
lovely
believe.
person.
Yeah,
He's
he
so
seems
very
like it.
smart.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah,
really empathetic and
yeah. That's. I think he's also very intuitive too. That's my take on him.
yeah.
I think he's also very intuitive. Yeah.
Thank you.
Both, there's a recommendation for you. Al Jazeera, I think is good. BBC, I think there's some indoctrination there. France
Yeah.
24, fairly good. And the German, I watch a German one too.
I think it's kind of interesting to watch Al Jazeera, watch BBC, watch American news, watch
Yep.
all the different and just see how
Yes.
they're covering things so differently and
The
kind
different
of,
planet.
you
and
kind of,
then mesh it together at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what I'm not willing to say anyone is just giving the complete truth, because we're
no,
all
nobody does.
Right.
coming
Bias.
from our own
Yeah.
lens, our own
That's right.
perception of stuff.
You
You know
know,
what I noticed? I don't pay a whole lot of attention
Yeah.
to anything except the headlines on CNN, because I have the
Yeah.
app on my phone, so I'll look at the headlines and then not pay attention. I noticed they have some sort of a story going on, which I don't know anything about the details. And the story is following their two reporters hiding in a bunker in Israel. This is the story this is the hard-hitting journalism that's going on at CNN.
you know what I was going to say just before you said that, which is interesting that because my brainwave was on the same thing as yours. Israel has this whole lockdown on information covering any of the damage being done in Israel. There's like people are being put in jail. They're being fined. Like for 5 years, if you post something that shows like a missile strike, you can go to
Yep.
jail for that. That's how, I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm seeing some of it on like randomly people are posting things
You know
on.
where some of it's
Okay.
coming from, Denise?
Mm.
What I learned from one of the German ones I was watching is that China has been pretty much like banned in Israel, but they do have like cameras,
Oh,
that
wow.
watch. And so that's where some of this is, because they're not in
I see.
Israel. And so
Wow.
because Israel's is completely shut, you're
Yeah,
not you're totally right. You cannot report on anything out of there.
Yeah, because they don't want people to see how much of a failure their Iron Dome situation is.
Yeah.
And
And the thing that's so grievous about all of this is that the ones that are responsible are the leadership. And
yes,
the people are the ones that
the ones that take the
suffer for this
punishment.
stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, it's
And
ridiculous.
it's just so wrong. It's
It's
so
so wrong.
disgusting.
I want to start a movement. Draft Baron Trump.
Why don't we draft
A
Trump?
lot of
I say
people
put
wanna
ice in
start
there.
that.
Just send
Yeah.
ice
Yeah.
over there.
Why
Let
don't we
them
just
deal
send the
with
whole
it.
cabinet over there? They can fight on the front lines.
Yeah.
I
Those
mean,
fuckers
Chris-
want to play with guns. Draft
yeah, let them go
ice.
do it. They think they're so fucking
God,
tough.
I had no
That's
idea. I
right.
was opening Pandora's box here.
I mean,
God,
Mr.
Right,
Tough Guy
Helen.
Pete Hegseth, why doesn't he go? And actually, he had a dishonorable discharge.
Yeah.
He's a guy who couldn't
Yeah.
even stay in the fucking military.
What did he get
No.
discharged for?
I think being an alcoholic, maybe.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
it
that
was
might
some
have
kind
had
of
a little something to
drinking
do with it,
assault
yeah.
kind of thing.
How
Hegseth.
maybe that ugly
Yeah.
ass tattoo he's got all over him. That's egregious.
Oh, that's very Christian. Yes. My friend Elaine, she's in her 80s and she's an Aquarian. And we've been friends for a very long time. She had a theory, we would sit and drink on our trips and talk about how we'd fix the world.
Yeah.
And she said, I can't wait for space travel. I said, why? And she goes, because then we could take all these leaders, and the minute they all want to
Sure.
have a war or
Shoot him
whatever,
off into.
there will be a planet designated for
How
them.
about the moon?
And they can all go
Yeah,
fight
the-
each other.
Yeah,
It could be
exactly.
the moon. It could be. And it's like, yeah, let them do the fighting. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Netanyahu's son was in Florida living the high life while that 20-year-old from Iowa was getting killed. True.
Hmm.
Did Netanyahu's brother get killed? I had heard something about that, but I don't know if it's
No.
true.
I don't know.
Well, he went
I
to
don't
college in Pennsylvania, I think. They're very
Yeah.
Americanized. Yeah.
Well, Israel is, it's a diaspora, so most of the
Yeah.
people have European. A lot of them have European roots and American roots. There are a lot of Americans who live in Israel too. If you're Jewish,
People
you
from New Jersey.
you can.
Hey,
If you're
hey.
Jewish, you can move to Israel.
I
You know.
resemble that remark.
You can get Israeli citizenship, like anybody would want that
Yep.
at this point. But, if you're Jewish, you only have to be a quarter, and you can
A little
live
bit
there.
of Schadenfreude. How many people are excited that everyone's fleeing Dubai?
On their own dime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you heard that there were no means of transportation organized by the American government to help
Right.
Americans get out of the war
Yeah.
zone.
Nice,
And they
very
were
nice.
told,
Yeah, no warning.
charter a plane.
No one.
Yeah.
Charter a
On
plane.
their own dime.
Yeah, when everything is. Well,
Yeah.
so those were all of our prophecies, unless anyone had, I want to run this by you guys. I'm kind of pulling some things from that book that you, Denise and Helen and I went
Red.
through about,
Yeah.
but there's some stories that are actually sort of relevant to that now.
Yes.
And so I was going to mix, that into the, because I never got the download on the Cosmic Fold show done. But while I pull this, I was thinking, well, maybe that would be an interesting discussion next week, since
Yeah,
I'll
that
have
would
this stuff anyway, and we can pull that and talk about it, because it sort of mixes this religion, alien, crazy government
military.
stuff together. Yes.
Yes.
And so if you guys are game, I think it would be an interesting show.
Yeah.
Like what's
that'd
coming
be-
up in a few weeks?
Skinwalker at the Pentagon. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Every time I have an idea, you guys talk about
Well,
it.
it's actually what's the name of that book again? Because there's a crazy ass long name that I can't ever remember.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna find it right now and tell people if they want to read it.
Yeah.
It's called Final Events and the Secret. Well, it's such
what
a
is it?
long title.
Final events.
Final Events and Secret Government Group on Demonic UFO. No, that's okay. That's not the right title. Let me try to get
Final
back.
events. Just look for final events.
Final Events and the Secret Government, group. Yeah, it is called that. This is a terrible title. On demonic UFOs and the afterlife. It's such a clunky title. But anyway, it's written by Nick Redfern. If anybody wants to listen to it on Audible or read it, it's
How do I spell Redfern? How do
Well,
I
he was
spell
an English. Isn't he an English?
yeah, R-E-D.
Yeah, but how do I spell R-E-D?
R-E-D-F-E-R-N. This is his last name.
Okay.
His first
That
name's
way I can
Nick.
put it up on the screen here.
Real
Final
well-known
Events
English
and
researcher.
Final Events and the Secret Government Group on Demonic UFOs and the Afterlife. That's really, he could have come up with a better title than that. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's
But
very
some of the and some of the stuff is actually like resurfacing again. I mean, last night I was working on the show, but I was listening in the background to some priest was talking. I mean, this is turning into a thing again about how they're demons, and I'll find some of the clips about those sounds and whatever. It'll just be an interesting one, but it will still kind of tie to what's going on today too. So,
see, I don't believe that there'll be no religion in the future for a very long time. I think what's happening is you're going to see a resurgence of behavior like the Middle Ages. People are going to be burning people at the stake. They're going to be
in the short term. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, definitely.
Superstition and
for sure.
Doing rituals to protect them. I mean,
for sure. You can download it for free on Archive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, that's cool.
Yeah. That's what I don't know. Let me see if I think it came out in 2006, this book. That's how long ago, long this has been
But
going
it's funny that you had picked that up, though, and then suggested we read that, because it seems like, once again, Denise was being prophetic and tuning into crap. It's like, oh, okay, we got familiar with all of that.
Look at what happened in World War One. Look what happened in World War One. They went on a killing spree and killed all the dachshunds because they were
2013 came out. Yeah, sorry.
The dachshunds. What did you say, Helen?
The dachshunds, the dogs. The wiener dogs.
Yeah.
There was a huge in the Allies. So England, the United States, whatever. They killed every dachshund.
Why?
Because they were German.
Oh no, that's ridiculous.
Royal family changed their name. They're Saxe-Coburg Gotha is their last name. Windsor's a building. It's not a last name, but they changed their name in World War One because their German name just didn't sound, it was a little uncomfortable,
Wow.
Yeah.
People are crazy. Yeah, well, no, I agree. I think before it gets in the destructive phase, which we're in, on the short term, sure. I mean, they're already talking about trying to put people who are tarot readers and astrologers, try to kill them or put them in jail. On a positive note, I think you guys heard, I think I mentioned it, that Tennessee was going to go for a vote putting women for the death penalty.
Yes. I saw that. Yes. And that failed.
Yeah. Failed. Thank God.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I want to thank everybody who has shown up for the live tonight, and those who listen in the future. And thank you very much to Helen and Denise and Bo for joining for an interesting discussion tonight. I appreciate all of you.
We
Highlight of
appreciate
the
Thank
week.
you, honey.
Always fun.
it. It is always fun.
Yes.
Well,
Shits and
next Wed-
giggles.
So Saturday we'll have our paranormal highway again, and then next Wednesday will be completely weird crap. So
Sounds
it'll
good.
be fun.
Whoop, whoop.
All right.
I love
Well,
you
you all,
guys.
thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again.
Okay,
Thank
so
you,
much.
everybody.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks so much for joining us. We love hearing your stories, so tell your friends so they can join the party. For show notes and our forum of high strangeness, visit cosmicfold.com. Remember, Cosmic Fold airs live on Wednesday and Saturday nights, so be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell to know when we're on air. Thanks again and have a great evening.